Yeah, the military's plan was so dumb.
I'm going to keep calling him Harry because of Dexter, but Francis Shaw, Lieutenant Shaw, Dumb Shaw. His reasoning, if it just made sense, if I could say, if I could have just agreed with this man, it made no sense, which just sums it up as white. And I was just like,
I couldn't stand his explanation. The whole thing was just like, nobody talks to each other anymore, nobody listens to each other. And I'm like, who's nobody? You're living in the 1960s where the civil rights movement is still like picking up heat.
And, like,
it was so like racially motivated. What do you mean? Yeah, you need to keep the country in fear in order to protect it. This is all just like the usual freaking talking points of any right-wing loser that just wants to control the country. Nothing you said made any sense. First of all, you don't even have an explanation for how you're going to control the Pennywise. He don't even understand how this Pennywise... The kids understand how he works more than Shaw does.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he made me feel like I should be rooting for Pennywise at that point, because I was just like...
I was at the end.
I was like, this is...
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Most Potato Podcast. My name is Alvin.
I'm Jess.
We're going to talk about It, Welcome to Derry. Yes. I got that right. I keep calling it Welcome to Derry Town.
Terry Town. Mm-hmm.
And we just had our season finale. And I got to say, when this show was first announced and when it was first starting, I honestly didn't have much interest in it.
Oh.
Because I liked the first It movie, but then the second one came out and I was just like, not really feeling it very much. Mm-hmm. And then this show came and I was like, oh, you guys have more material. Like, are you sure you're just not just like milking the shit out of this franchise? So we went into this sort of just like with no expectations whatsoever. I don't know if you had any expectations.
I mean, I never was into any of the movies like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I went to see the first one. I didn't have any interest in watching that, but I watched it. I liked it, and I have a Georgie jacket, and everything's great. And then I remember we saw the second one, and I really don't remember how that goes at all. I just remember feeling,
That's what most people felt. The second part of the story tends to be the hardest thing to adapt, because I think in the books it's also not very well beloved. When this show came out, I was like, all right, we'll give it a shot, but I don't think it's going to be anything great.
Yeah.
And man, by the end of episode 1, when this show really is just called, it should be called It, Fuck Them Kids. That's because, wow, fuck them kids for real.
Yeah.
That was like, I've never seen a show open that way before.
They were like, you thought these were your main characters? Nah, psych.
Yes, they were they're on your posters. What do you mean they're gone?
Yeah, no, I was hooked after episode 1. Yeah, I couldn't believe. I was like, wait, they really, everybody? Okay.
Now what? What's the story?
Now what, right? That's really what it felt like.
We got our carbon copy of the losers from the first movie, and then you wipe out most of them. It's like, all right, this is where the story really begins.
Yeah. So that was really good. And I feel like we were definitely hooked since the first episode, after the first episode.
Yeah. I mean, there was like some episodes stronger than others, but for the most part, the season, I think, was consistently really good. Mm-hmm. I really liked everything. I like that even I got like some good scares every once in a while, because I hate when a show or movie is trying to be scary and it just completely fails at that. But there are some good jump scares.
Yeah. Particularly
like the Marge scene with her going into the wood shop and just doing what she did with her eyeball. That is.
I just got goosebumps. Oh my god! I can't.
I think we paused at one point. I was like, hold on, I need a break.
I was hiding behind my hands because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I knew where it was going, and I was just like, no.
And oh my god, the talent that they pull from like the adult actors all the way to the kid actors. I don't think there was a single weak performance from anybody, especially the kids.
Yeah.
There's nobody that stood out to me. I'm just like, that's a little wonky. With this show, we get sacrifices from some of our main cast, and we're gonna get into that like real quick. Like,
he's already like dropping the rating for this season based off of who's dying.
Spoiler alert! I have a good strong rating for this show, but I did drop it because of one particular death, and you're never gonna guess who it is. Or you might. I don't know. There's significant deaths.
You might, Loca. Yeah.
So let's start with the finale, because this shit fucked me up. What do you mean Pennywise just took over the town like the Mist style and just starts grabbing up all them kids in the school? Just like, what the hell?
because them kids died in the first episode that way, I was just like, well, Derry's fucked. Like, everyone's gonna die.
Nobody's safe.
We're gonna wrap up the season, and then like some new saviors are gonna come in for season 2 and repopulate the town. I don't know, because I was just like, what do you do at this point? Like, the whites. What are you? You cannot weaponize this thing. You don't even know what it is.
Yeah, the military's plan was so dumb.
I'm going to keep calling him Harry because of Dexter, but Francis Shaw, Lieutenant Shaw, dumb ass Shaw. His reasoning, if it just made sense, if I could say, if I could have just agreed with this man, it made no sense. Like, I was hoping that something else would release him for some other deranged reason that made sense to the character, but this just made no sense, which just sums it up as white. And I was just like,
I couldn't stand his explanation. The whole thing was just like, nobody talks to each other anymore, nobody listens to each other anymore. I'm like, who is nobody? Which specific people are you talking about? You're living in the 1960s where the civil rights movement is still like picking up heat. So what do you mean people don't listen to each other anymore? People don't talk to each other? Are you what? Like, what do you mean? He made this narrative as if like the country was like perfectly unified at one point and there wasn't too much conflict. I think he was low-key just saying, I'm tired of these black people like getting the rights that they definitely deserve and are owed, but I don't want them to have them. Like, there's too many uprisings. With
your whole chest instead of doing this stupid shit. Like,
it was so like racially motivated. What do you mean? Yeah, you need to keep the country in fear in order to protect it. This is all just like the usual freaking talking points of any right-wing loser that just wants to control the country. It was no different than hearing Trump and his speeches. He just wants to instill fear and point a gun at the world so that is like peace. I'm like, dude, nothing you said made any sense. First of all, you don't even have an explanation for how you're going to control the Pennywise. Like, what, you act like you're going to put an AK-47 in his arm and be like, all right, go to Iraq and go fight for us.
Yeah, it made no sense, and it's too real. It's all too real.
He don't even understand how this Pennywise, the kids understand how he works more than Shaw does.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, he made me feel like I should be rooting for Pennywise at that point, because I was just like...
I was at the end. He really just said, like, fuck the kids, fuck everybody, fuck the country.
Fuck the world.
Fuck the world. Like, I'm unleashing Pennywise with no contingency plan whatsoever. And I hated this dude from the start. From the jump, I'm just like, this dude is a dumb fuck. Rose should have slapped the shit out of him, killed him. Shaw, I knew Shaw was the main villain. Whiteness and militarism, that was the main villain.
I mean, he staged that whole, like, jumping Leroy in his room thing. He's like, that's a test. You passed.
Fucking idiot.
And I was just like...
You racist bastard.
Him racist bastard, and he's just like, you unleashed a racist bastard, like, on him. You're just like...
Using racist ninjas.
Yeah. I was like, what?
I need you as, like, a tool, as a weapon. And then Leroy just goes with it. I'd be like, sir, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm beating your ass, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here. But Leroy's dumbass. We'll get to him later. And then because of that, we got to see Pennywise just going ham on a freaking school, just wiping out a bunch of kids, basically.
Oh my gosh. When he was on the intercom and he was basically like, he's like, oh, can, all the seniors or the older kids, you can go home early, and then, all the nice youngins. Like, he basically pulled a Leonardo DiCaprio, basically. He's just like, I don't want anybody 25 or older. Like, everybody go to the auditorium. Damn. And I was just like... What? As soon as he said, oh, this age group go home and this one, I was just like, shit, that's Pennywise.
Conniving ass
and
bitch.
I was like, oh my goodness. That scene was just...
It was both so hilarious and horrifying at the same time.
Everything's horrifying. Like, I don't even know if it's hilarious. I just felt horrified after episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, that's how I feel. Like, I'm lost for words. Like,
the scene with like the car slowly moving through the town and then just a line of floating kids, that was like something off of like a nightmare.
Yeah,
I was not expecting something like that. And then the fact that we have to follow the 3 main girls going after that truck with Pennywise and all, and they have to go after Will.
I'm mad they let Marge drive. Like, what?
They let the blind girl drive the
like,
truck.
She got one eye. Y'all didn't want to step up to the plate and try. Ronnie stayed yelling at everybody, and then Lilly got her little dagger and thinks she's running shit.
Of all the three, I would have to trust Ronnie with the driving, because you got Lilly over here going through withdrawals with like freaking dagger addiction. And then there's Marge with just like, she can see like one side of the road. Just like, none of these kids can drive, but I feel like Ronnie was the one that was supposed to drive.
Yeah, and she's just like, you could drive this thing, and then she literally called her out. She like, you got one eye. I was like, Ronnie, how you gonna not know how to drive yourself and then disrespect this girl like that? Come on.
You said it's not a one eye thing; it's a pothole thing.
I was surprised Lilly was even there, because Lilly, I felt like she was like away from the group for a minute. I mean, she wasn't even there in episode 7 at the little juke joint area. Yeah. So she was off doing her own thing. So I'm just like, my gosh, is no one catching each other up to speed when they finally come together? It was, I don't know. That was just like annoying. But I was like, all right, y'all got the dagger. You're going to go look for Will. Go do your thing, I guess. But yeah, Lilly, I don't like her. I don't. And I haven't liked her since like the start of the season. It definitely ties to like the issue with Ronnie and her dad and them accusing Hank, right? His name's Hank, of killing those kids like in the first episode. Or she's just like, oh, they're going to send me back to Juniper Hill. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And I was just like, go.
Damn.
I was like, no, I mean, either way, she gets sent there either way. So it's just like, why didn't you at least try to like be more sympathetic? I mean, you said, oh yeah, she sets up that plan for them to, you know, get proof of Pennywise and take the pictures and yada yada yada. So that was her way of helping. But I think I just didn't like the way that the character kind of was in regards to like Ronnie being like, my dad didn't do this, they're gonna take away my dad. And I'm like, this is a racist ass time, racist ass town. The kids don't give racist vibes, at least the ones we're dealing with. I wasn't seeing it. Feels like it's mostly the adults.
Yeah.
So I just felt like, I don't know, I was just hoping she'd be a little bit more understanding and try a little more with Ronnie in the situation, and she just didn't. So I was kind of like, I don't think I really like Lilly that much.
Yeah.
And like, I really don't care that she's a dagger addict. That sounds weird. I don't really care. I just feel like she's causing more problems with this like sudden addiction or obsession with the dagger. Because I think Rose mentions that, you know, the dagger causes you to go a little crazy and become addicted.
Yeah, that was like the one thing I wasn't a big fan of, is they just kept adding new lore at the last minute. I'm like, I don't really care for the like, Lord of the Rings
you
plot
couldn't
here.
tell us this from the beginning. And why didn't it affect Jacob? Nathaniel. Why didn't it affect him?
Well, he had it for a brief period. That was it. She's had it for 24 hours at minimum.
It was locked up in like a safe or something. I was just like, can we not do this right now, Lilly? Like, you're literally causing problems. We're in the middle of this mist. We just hit a pothole, and now you about to like dagger Marge and Ronnie. For what?
Yeah.
I wish they would have done a little bit more with the dagger, actually. Like, and I want to know what she was feeling or thinking to better understand like the obsession that the dagger was causing. Like, was it telling her something? Or
we don't get any of that.
Yeah, we don't. We just know that she's being like a little bit crazy about like, no, it's mine. Like, you don't touch it. You almost lost it. Like, I was like, okay, well, why is this happening? Is it going to do something? And is it going to help us later?
Well, I appreciate that Lilly was written as like a complicated character, because not everyone is going to be likable. And they did it in a way for me where I didn't particularly like Lilly, but I understood where she was coming from, especially with someone that's not dealing with her grief properly and has like a kind of shitty mother who's just like absent-minded. She's just like, go visit your dad who's dead, and then not really tending to her and just feeling isolated, because they set that up in the beginning, especially when they wiped out some of her friends in the beginning. There were other characters too that weren't that easy to deal with. Like, I understood why Ronnie didn't want to go back to fight Pennywise, but they also kind of don't have a choice, because what else are you going to do? Like, police can't do shit, military can't do shit. They're the problem.
Ronnie, like, I like her, but she was just also, like, she was, like, annoying in a different type of way. But I feel like she was just constantly, like, just mad at everybody, yelling at everybody, and just, like, calling everybody crazy. She gotta be tired with
all that screaming.
Yeah. I mean, she gotta be tired, but I also felt like I understand she's just sick and tired of everybody and their bullshit, and it's just, like, things are just so obvious sometimes, and I feel like that's where her frustration came from. And Marge, she came around. I feel like she became a better person when she lost her eye. So, yeah, like, she really...
Literally, she did.
No, like, right? Did she not?
It took Pennywise fucking with her to be like, all right, I gotta be myself and not be a piece of shit.
Yeah. I just like, can we just say that?
So like, I love that the kids are so imperfect. There's so many imperfect characters because it feels real. Everything that happens to them, I'm like, damn, I sympathize with that. I understand that. Even if I don't like you being like this way, like all the time.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. They really made these characters fully realized. And the adults too, like Leroy, Charlotte, and Dick specifically, I like their dynamics. Even though I can't stand Leroy's bitch ass, he's like enemy number 2 right behind.
When he hit the baby, right? When he hit your baby.
When he smacked Will in the face earlier in the season, I was like, all right, now I gotta smack you. I gotta reach into the TV and smack you. But overall, I like their dynamics as well. Again, some of these characters are, but I appreciated them making the effort to try to figure out, okay, where's Will? Like, find a speedy way to get to those kids, because it's the last episode. Yeah. And they all need to, like, join together to fight Pennywise. And the fucking poor Dick Hallorann getting dragged up from his suicide attempt. Leroy just... The way that Leroy was pleading for this man to stop and help him, I'm like, I can't tell if I should feel good or bad, because you really are just calling out to him because you need to save your son. You're not really there to be like, man, I got you. It's okay. I care about you.
He really wasn't there for that. He said, just help me find my son if I got to put you down later. If you want me to do it. That's literally what he said. That's literally what he said. He was just like, he's just like, I need you to help me find and stop this thing. And then he's just like, when it's all done, he's just like,
then you can blow your brains out and I'll help you.
I'll do it for you. I was like, what? I'm like, being like, Leroy. Can't we send him to like Juniper Hill or something? Get him some therapy? I don't know. But
oh my god! And again, he's another example of such an imperfect character. I can't stand the way that he's so just like dismissive of Charlotte and how she's just like, she's an activist. She does actual productive work for the community. She's not used to sitting by the side.
How did they end up together?
That's my question. I'm like, how did this woman not end up with a woke man that's like also an activist? Is not some sort of like person that cares for other people. But I also get where Leroy's coming from too. He's someone that, he's a black man in America. He feels like he just needs to stay in his lane and stay away from trouble. I get that sentiment, but that just doesn't work for any of us who are people of color. We can mind our business all we want. Racism still comes for us. It'll affect us in some like shape or form.
Because they love to be in our business.
Unprovoked.
They're so obsessed with us. It's so weird. Like, instead of just being wicked, evil, racist fucks, like we could be friends.
The man was dealing with racism in his own like freaking like platoon, just like dealing with like the racist soldier and then his racist lieutenant setting up an attack on him.
A racist ass attack.
A racist ass like racially motivated attack for a test. And it's just like, his whole attitude the whole time and being dismissive of Will as well with all the Pennywise shit going on was really getting on my last nerve.
But I feel like when Will had the scare when they were fishing and stuff, I felt like Leroy had a moment, like that was like a breakthrough for him. That was his first, because I was genuinely shocked when he listened to Will. Like he believed him. He didn't understand, but he believed him, and he knew that something was going on.
Yeah, he just didn't know what.
Yeah, he didn't know what, but I was genuinely like, I was like, wait, what? He believes him. He knows something's wrong, something's going on, and he wants to try to figure it out, maybe what it is. And I guess that's when he really started to like question Shaw and what was going on and what they were trying to do, and Dick's role and everything as well. Yeah, that was like the only good moment I had with Leroy, really, because I'm mad that he also killed like his best friend, which also made no sense. You push the gun and somehow he gets hit and dies, and I was just so like, annoying. What?
And there's an inconsistency with this condition where he's not able to feel fear, because some points that happens, and then in other points he genuinely feels fear and then accidentally shoots his best friend. You see that he's terrified of Will getting pulled under the water. So it's just like, there was like a weird inconsistency there. If they explain that Pennywise can somehow still penetrate fear into you, even if that part of your brain is inactive, that'd be one thing, but they never made that really clear. But all that to say is, Leroy kind of came through, at least in the end, with trying his best to stop Pennywise. So like, it was good that he brought Dick, because Dick gets like that special super ginger tea to help him calm the voices.
Man, poor Dick.
Yeah, I felt so bad for this man when Leroy was like dealing with getting slapped up by Charlotte, which he deserved. That's the one time I will condone domestic violence. It's through fiction. Only through fiction with this one. He deserved every slap.
Oh my god.
And when he goes like, but look, I brought Dick. And the camera pans over and Dick is just like And good old Rose coming through with the super tea to calm him down. It's like, all right, now he can lock in.
Yeah.
Now he can lock in. Because when Dick froze up Pennywise, I had no idea what was going on at first.
Yeah.
When he was about to eat up.
I was just like, isn't that Dick doing that? Like, you were just like, no. No.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought there was like another pillar that they came across.
Because they didn't really. Well, that's the thing. She was just like, oh, I can help stop those voices. And you're going to look for the dagger. Gives him the drink. Oh, wait, let me tell you. No, don't.
We never got to learn about what that warning was.
What? Why didn't we read the instructions before drinking the
That
tea?
was so dumb. That was so annoying.
I was like, what happens now? Like,
whatever you do, don't.
Yeah,
you couldn't tell me before I took this shit.
That was so stupid. And I was just like, okay, so it's Dick that's doing this, and you were just like, no, but then we realized it is him, and I was like, how is he doing that? Like, where exactly did he go? Because he was just supposed to look for the girls and the dagger. He found them, and then all of a sudden he's controlling Pennywise,
putting him in a domain expansion. Like what?
I like that. Yeah, and he's bringing him back, and he's just like, oh, you're Bob, right? That was the guy's name.
Yes, Bob Gray.
And he's just like, no, I'm not. And I was just like,
he got offended. Yeah. I'm not Bob.
Yes, and
slaps up the Pennywise.
Yes, had him slapped up and everything, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" It was really weird, but it was so funny to see Pennywise like that. Like he genuinely looked a little shook. Like, what the fuck is going on? Where am I? Like, that was great. I love that. I'm just so mad it broke, but I mean, obviously, it had to like continue the episode and. Yeah, but it broke because of the white people. The
stupid fucking soldiers decide we're just gonna fuck shit up for no reason. Start shooting at people, pulling people out of the car. Yeah, like what? There's like a bunch of kids in the way, and they're completely.
They're like, we don't care. We want to die by Pennywise. That's what we want.
This whole thing is like a death cult. I swear.
It is so weird. Like they're following Shaw. And I don't know. Do they know what's going on exactly? They just know pillars. They don't know shit. We don't know, but we got to do this. Orders higher up, and I'm like,
yeah,
y'all don't have like that sixth sense. That y'all don't feel like something's off. I don't get it.
No, because they're the problem. They're the reason that our sixth sense go off. And then they had the nerve to wipe out Daniel. For some reason, they kirk him in the neck. I'm like, why he got to get kirked? Why?
You loca. Come on.
And this is the reason why. This is the character's death that really just broke.
It wasn't Richie's?
The final straw. No, it was almost Rich's death.
Sorry, I keep calling him Richie because he's little, and Richie he's a little.
But Rich is enough also to affect my grade. But I think this was the tipping point for me.
It made no sense. I literally was like, I looked at you, I was like.
Because with Rich's death, I'm like, okay, we had a story with him. We got to follow him and be with him and have a relationship with him. I barely know Daniel. I like Daniel. I like the little bit that we got of this man. And I feel like because we didn't have enough of a story with him in this season, it just felt really just off to take out a Native American character that was just barely added to the story, and it just felt like a plot reason to just have a discarded body as like more just like collateral damage.
I felt like, hasn't he been through enough? You guys literally mind fucked him like a few episodes back, and that was brutal to watch. And I hated seeing that it was a black man doing this to him as well. So I was just like, I swear it's not all just like blood and gore and like dead children body parts all over the place. It's literally like the racial aspect in the show. It's horrifying.
And they make it a point.
They really do. And it's horrifying. It's upsetting. Things go unresolved with the black spot. That just happened, and we just walk away from that, and we have to just keep on going. And that is why after watching that episode, I did not want to keep watching. Not because I'm like mad at the writers. I'm like, how could they do such a thing or whatever? But it was horrifying. unsettling, and I was just like, what more can these people possibly show me?
Yeah.
Like, what more? And you know that this stuff is real. Like, this stuff happened. This isn't like just some made up thing.
It continues to happen.
In
modern ways
that we may not even hear about, but yes, in modern ways. And I was just like, what more can they do? So killing Daniel, that was just like unnecessary. Yeah, I was just like, why?
What was the narrative purpose? At least with the black spot, there was a narrative purpose to that tied to Pennywise. As painful as that was, as horrifying as that was to watch, I was like, at least there's like a narrative purpose to that. Mm-hmm. With Daniel getting wiped out, I'm just like, now you're just really you're pushing in the wound with your dagger for no reason.
It made no sense. So I can understand why you're just like, I can understand now why you want to bring down your grade for the season.
It was just, that was excessive.
Yeah, because I was just like, they really killed Rich. Like, what? This doesn't make any sense. How does this help anybody? What is the point in doing this? And he wasn't even like eaten by Pennywise or anything like that. He just really sacrificed himself. I'm like, why are we doing that? He was having a good time, a juke joint, playing his drums, and I was just like, this fucking sucks. And then they're just like, but wait, there's more. And I'm like, why? Because
what is the why? I just need the why, and there was no why for Daniel going down.
You
did not need to have to take him out.
It really
Rose went through enough. Rose has gone through enough. And if people don't feel the same way about me with that character, that's fine. I'm not saying that you're right or wrong if you feel totally different with Daniel dying. If that worked for you, then that worked for you. But for me personally, I was just like...
I don't see how it could work for anybody, honestly, just because it made no sense. Like, that literally was just, like you said, it was just a body. I'm like, if you were going to kill someone, you could have killed Leroy, you could have killed Hank. I mean, I would have
understood
that.
Leroy dying because he had enough of a story where it's like, okay, he might have to make the ultimate sacrifice.
It looked like he was making the sacrifice,
but also continuity wise wouldn't make sense because he's in the first movie.
So they just needed another body, and I was just like
we didn't need another body.
You have all these soldiers, you have all these military guys. Like, I know we won't really care about them, but you could have done that too, and they didn't. So I don't know. That's why I said I feel like people should be, I don't want to be like upset, but they should just feel like, why did you do that? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But these are probably the same people who like just feel like, oh yeah, that Black Spot episode, it's really sad that Rich died and that was just like really messed up. And I'm just like, what about all the black people that died? I know they weren't main characters or anything like that, but the people that episode didn't touch, affect, like just hurt, like I'm like, why didn't the knife twist in you guys? Maybe because y'all holding it, but it's just like I don't know, I just think I'm like, these episodes, like the last two, especially 7 though, I feel like that should have just had an impact on people. And I feel like there should be no discourse where people are fighting about whose death mattered more, and it's not about that, it's about the situation at hand, which is the fucking clan coming and killing these people. And still being a threat. You have Pennywise, and then you have the clan. I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe your chances are better with Pennywise somehow. Like, because it's so fucked. And then we just have to move on from that.
Yeah.
That's like a normal occurrence. We never see the clan again. Only one of them gets got by Pennywise, and it still wasn't enough. I'm like, we need to take it to Sinners. Like, where's Michael B. Jordan to like...
We're not going to get the Sinners moment, which I hated,
Yeah, we weren't going to get that, especially because in episode 8, they just knocked out all those soldiers.
Yeah, and I think that's why the Daniel thing hurt a lot for me, because we already didn't get the justice for the black people that sacrificed themselves in that juke joint. And then now this, I'm like, all right, the Daniel thing, you went too far. Because there was like not even a narrative purpose to that. You just did that just to like shock us. I'm like, well, it's not for me.
And I'm upset. And you lost points. So
at the very least, we get to see bitch ass Francis Shaw get killed by Pennywise.
But that was like a Cersei death. I was just like,
it's a little better than a Cersei death.
It's a little better, but I wanted to see it. I wanted Leroy to see it. I wanted everybody else to see it, the military guys to see it, because y'all just following blindly like a bunch of dumbasses. I needed a little bit more. I need everybody to be like, what the...
Yeah.
And we didn't... He just like... We saw that he's basically gonna get got, and that's it. And you did all this shit and screw the town, and you're dead anyway.
Yeah, I don't like that he dies off screen. Like, you see, like, Pennywise about to munch on him, and then that's it. Just audio. You don't see the finished result.
Yeah.
You don't see him make a joke about, like, do I have face on my face? Like, it's very quick.
He's just like, oh, I remember that smell, that smelly smell, that smelly smell, that smells smelly. You're dead. And then we're moving on. And I was just like,
I thought that was funny.
Okay.
This is what you get.
Yeah.
This is what
it's what he gets, but it could have been, it wasn't satisfying enough for me.
Yeah, no, I needed like a slow, torturous death for this man, for what the hell his plan was. It was like the stupidest thing ever. He really thought he could control Pennywise. Somebody like, you stand down, darn you. Ha! What? They could have stretched that out more, for sure. If you could make us sit through a whole juke joint situation, you could make us sit with that a little bit longer, with Shaw getting his just desserts. And then the other soldiers don't get theirs too. They should have just been, just pick off these people because they're willing to shoot at kids.
I feel like they didn't even understand what was going on.
No, they didn't.
Even after
they're just following orders.
Pennywise got sent back to wherever he came from, and like they still were just like, huh, that was wow.
It just goes to show, like, Pennywise is not here to pick sides. He does not care about any human politics, though he'd be making some weird sus jokes. Like when he made the joke about Will's dark meat being the tastiest, I'm like, buddy,
Sir.
You gotta chill out.
Sir.
Chill out. You were doing good. And then
You're doing good. He's doing good.
But like for this man to think that Pennywise would go with some stupid agenda like racism, I'm just like, dude, this is an intercosmic fucking being that all he does is eats and sleep. He don't even shit. He just eat and sleep. That's all he cares about. If anything, Pennywise just represents what you want to do with the country, which is just constantly consume shit and put people in fear. And that's it. That's the only thing that you care about. You just want control and you just want to take everything. That's in my eyes, Pennywise is the American way. That's America personified as this evil demon clown that bullies people and then eats them up for their resources. That's what I got from that. And Shaw should have seen that shit coming. I don't know why he thought he could control this motherfucker, but I wish they sat with that death longer. That's all I need. Just like another minute of him suffering. At some point, Pennywise starts telling Marge about basically why he got beef with her specifically in her lineage, which is she actually is the mother of Richie in the first movie. And I think Richie ends up being like the main one that kills him in the second movie. Again, this dude is a bully, talking about like, you know what your filthy loins does to me, or some shit along the lines of that. I'm just like, dude, you're talking to a kid. Relax.
Yeah, no, that pops her in the eye too, and like the good
pops
eye.
her in the eye with like a wad of paper, which is a wanted poster of her son in the future. Whips it in her eyeball, and she's like, ah.
He's stupid.
I can't take this man serious. He really cannot take anything serious. This dude is just, he's so funny, but he's so like horrifying. Like I really like that he kind of like brought that up of like just again expanding the lore of acknowledging the events of like the movie which happens in the future. I really like that he brought up the concept of him experiencing time all at once. And I'm just like, okay, now I can kind of get why you are the way that you are. Like, if I was experiencing the past, present, and future all at the same time, I would lose my shit too. I mean, I wouldn't be eating kids and picking on them, but I would lose my shit.
Yeah.
So, and I think the concept is, like, if they do season 2 and 3, we're going to be going further back in time rather than forwards, which I think that's a really cool idea. I think that that's, like, a fresh way of doing television and, like, really challenging the writers of, like, okay, how do we keep this fresh without making this stale as we go further back in time? And I think I have a theory that I don't know if I like this theory, but I think this is what's going on. There's a financial reason for this. If Pennywise goes back all the way to like 1908, I think that's when he first crash lands. And if he can kill the very first ancestor to Marge, who then births Richie, who ends up taking out Pennywise, if he can break that lineage, that means he's free of this time loop and he can continue to exist in the future. So that means he never gets killed in the movies. So
that sounds like milking it. That sounds like
that's
the
what I'm
future
saying.
Of milking.
I think Warner Brothers, I think they're sneaking their way of like, let's give them really good television and give an excuse for why we got to do It Chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I hate it here.
It was like, fuck the books. Now that there's no more books, we can still keep going. I think that's what low-key what they're doing is they set up this lore. I mean, I think it comes from the books too, but I think they're using this lore as an excuse to be like, what if we went for it? What if Pennywise does end up taking out Marge's whole lineage and freeing Pennywise so that he can make more sequel movies?
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
It Chapter 3, I'm calling it right now.
Don't do that.
I'm not even putting out the idea. They're already thinking it. That's what they do.
You're encouraging it.
What did you think of Rich's little comeback?
I thought that was so cute. I thought he was actually coming back.
I know he's one of those ghosts that don't look ghoulish. He looks like a regular person.
He looks like, fleshy and real and there. But I guess I should have realized that he wasn't really there, because when he does help the other kids, like with the dagger, putting it in the dirt, they don't know that. They just feel something, and their last thing they're probably thinking about is Rich. I thought it was cute. I like when he flipped off bitch ass Pennywise, because
that's an iconic. That screen grab is just floating everywhere on the internet.
It was so cute. I was so sad.
I love the little detail, the drumsticks poking out of his back pocket. I'm like, what are you doing with that?
And then Dick was just like, oh shit, and they were like, what do you see? He's like, a fucking miracle.
It's a motherfucking miracle.
That was great, because I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think that
was a great payoff. That was some good fan service.
It really was, because I was just like, y'all really took Rich. I was like, maybe they're gonna bring him back, but no. I guess I'm still happy with what they did, and he's there with everyone still. With his parents, because they do like the funeral service for him after, and Dick ain't seen like dragged up, dirty ass, torn up corpses haunting him and not saying anything but just getting up in his face, and it looks like he'll be able to help people in the future. So I was happy about that. I felt like, Rich for the most part is at peace, and Dick is at peace as well too, for the most part. Like he's gonna do better. So yeah, I loved Rich's comeback. What did you feel about it?
It was this version of a Captain America pulling in the Thor's hammer. That's the moment that we had here.
Damn, wow.
Yeah, it was that legendary for me.
That's so cute.
I mean, I'm not saying they equate. I'm saying this is this version for this world.
Yeah.
Yes, this is that on your left moment.
Well, how do we feel after they get the dagger in the ground? How do we feel about Pennywise's defeat? Because that motherfucker was over there morphing and turning all the time crazy shit. I was just like, wait.
I was so mad that this man still had the damn strength to like start transforming. I'm like, after you having fun talking about like doing this slow motion running.
That's what his ass gets. Like, you could have just ran over there and ate them kids, and you were just
He could teleport if he wanted to. And he said, no, let me fuck with these kids again.
I'm like, should you not be worried? I mean, obviously they weren't going to be able to do it by himself. It didn't look like it. But I was like, on the off chance that just these
you really want to take that risk? Do you really want to do that?
And then look what happens.
No, I love the struggle. I love seeing like the struggle with like, okay, we have that moment of Rich coming out like a fucking Avenger, but it's still like not quite enough. They're still struggling to push in that dagger. And then here comes Pennywise just like lunging at them with like the demonic bird wings or the bat wings. I thought that they built up the tension really good. It's like, you know what's coming, but you still feel like some fuck shit's going to happen. Because I really didn't know how the season was going to end. I thought it was just going to end with like the whole town just getting nuked or something.
Yeah.
They did a really good job building up the tension. I still didn't quite know what was going to happen. So when they end up finally pushing in the dagger just as Pennywise was about to grab them up, I literally let out like a huge sigh of relief as if I was there with them. So, and that makes a really great television for me. If you can make me feel thrilled to the end, and I think this was a fantastic ending. I feel like this is one of those really great TV endings where they pretty much hit the mark on most things. Specifically with like character resolutions and then resolving the plot. I think this is definitely up there. So I really like the defeat of Pennywise.
Yeah.
So they made it feel like earned, even though you know the outcome later on, where this motherfucker's going to come back.
Yeah.
But they made it feel like a way where it just feels like, oh, thank God this is over.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a pocket in time where we get attached to these characters from, the 1960s, and we just want them to be okay, and they've already been through so much. There's been so much loss.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't want them to hurt anymore.
Yeah.
And like, what's gonna, like you said, what's gonna happen, what the future holds for most of them anyway. But it's still like, it's a big major relief. It's like we won. We won, even though we know we have him coming back in 27 years.
He won the battle, but not the war.
Yeah. So it's good to see that everybody is gonna make it, except for the ones that we lost. And I don't know. I do question if some characters actually didn't make it, like Ronnie.
I don't know. What did you think of the resolution with Ronnie and Hank? Do you think they've had a peaceful life this whole time?
I can't say because they weren't in the movies. Where were they?
I'm asking, what did you think? I'm not asking if you know.
I feel like they didn't make it out of Derry.
You think something bad happened to them?
I feel like it. I'm like, unless somebody writes a new script and tell me otherwise, I feel like, because
you got no hope.
I want to have hope. I want to have hope, but it's just that town fucked up. And like the first episode too, that kid trying to leave, I already forget what his name is.
Oh yeah, Maddie, I think is what it was.
He was trying to leave. He didn't leave.
Yeah, but Pennywise was active during that time. Pennywise is put to sleep at this point.
Do we know if he was asleep? We just saw him
for 27 years. Yeah, he don't come back until Chapter 1.
I don't believe none of it.
Ronnie had a good time wherever she moved to outside of Derry.
They better bring her back in your Chapter 3.
Yeah, I think they had they had to have had a good ending, at least Ronnie and Hank. I have to believe that after what they've been through, this show can't be that pessimistic. It gets there, but not to like Aaron Yeager levels.
You talking about this show? The first episode, fuck them kids. The next episode, fuck everybody else.
Let's not fuck every kid.
Fuck Rich. Fuck Jacob. Like, come on.
I think Ronnie had a good life. Sadly, she was the one that got away for Will, but she probably got married with a nice other young boy to wherever she went. Derrytown Plus, I don't know.
Oh gosh. Yeah. No.
So I wish we got some sort of closure with where they went, but I like to think that they had a decent ending and didn't have to deal with Pennywise no more.
What did you think about Will and his family, or like I guess his parents, deciding to stay in Derry? Because they were ready to pack that shit up, and I was ready to pack them up and send them on their way too.
I was just waiting for them to find a reason to stay, because I'm like, you motherfuckers, you stay in the first movie.
I don't care, fuck the movies. Like, y'all, they should have left.
No, I wanted them to leave. I definitely wanted them to leave, but I also really admire and respect that call to duty of like protecting your community if you're able to. Because Rose was like kind of doing it on her own. I mean, she has the other members of the Native American tribe too. And I wish we got to spend more time with them, because sometimes they just felt kind of dismissive of the situation. Like after the massacre at the black spot, they were just basically like, this shit's sad, but see you shit asses in 27 years.
Yeah.
And it was just, I wish we got to explore that a little bit more.
They were literally just for the lore and like the backstory of how they imprisoned Pennywise. I feel like that's why they used him. And
they should have been used for more than just that. Yeah, but that's what they were used for. And they had like the one girl that was at least crying about it, but it's like, it's not enough. So I appreciate that Rose kind of passed the keys on to Leroy and Charlotte, because this woman's been doing so much for like decades. Like, she needed to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So I like that, and it only made sense because obviously in the first movie we see that Leroy, the grandpa character, and his grandson are there. I thought that was fine. I think it made sense. It wouldn't make sense for them to leave, because then you just break the continuity. Lilly visiting her dad's grave finally, I thought that was fine, but didn't really care.
Well, yeah, whatever.
I was like, I feel like you could have done that way earlier.
Yeah.
She didn't have that much of an arc. Like, that was interesting enough.
Yeah. I was like, you better be a better person moving forward. Other than that, I don't care. I
felt bad for Dick taking that job at the hotel. I'm just like, he really said, how much trouble could a hotel be?
That's what he get for saying that. Why you open your mouth and say that?
And then you end up in The Shining.
Yeah. I can't believe I never watched that until like a few years ago.
You watched that, right? And then we watched Dr. Sleep together. Yeah. It was so freaking good.
We watched Dr. Sleep. I watched Dr. Sleep first. And then I was like, shit, let me check out The Shining. And I was like, oh, shit, why didn't I check out The Shining?
That's an interesting order to watch it, though. I think you still get a good time.
Dr. Sleep, I felt like I didn't even have to watch The Shining if I didn't want to. So I guess that's like a good introduction for someone who hasn't watched The Shining. And
I'll be curious to see how we feel once we rewatch those movies, how we feel about the Dick character now that we have like some added context from a totally separate series, even though they're not super like interconnected. Because I always liked the character, but now that we have this backstory with him, I feel like I'm gonna feel more for him with his story in those movies. And then Ingrid's bitch ass, the one that unleashed Pennywise on the black spot, the one that set up Hank the whole time, her getting institutionalized, I'm like, this this is the least that you deserve.
Yeah, I didn't even want to talk about her. Like, I just, like,
she enrages you that much.
Like, gosh, what's more dangerous than Pennywise? A white woman. Like, it's just, I don't even want to talk about her. I mean, like, it's clearly, like, she clearly has, like, mental issues, like the trauma from her childhood of losing her dad.
And I feel for, like, I get it, losing your dad, but
I get it. I really understand that for this character, but still, fuck this character. Fuck her. Fuck Ingrid. I can't. I'm like, what? Good. I mean, this is, like you said, you deserve worse.
Yeah.
That we'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at, I don't know. You got any more to say about her?
No, other
Moving
than
on.
no, other than the interesting little cameo that we get from, I think the character's name's Barbara, the ginger girl from the first movie.
Is it Barbara?
I think so. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that random cameo. I didn't think we really needed it, but I guess it was fine. I guess they wanted to further emphasize the connection between this story and the first movie.
And be like, go watch the movie because we're gonna put it behind a paywall. You're gonna have to pay $5.99 to rent it. And
so I thought that was pretty cool, but also not a really necessary cameo.
It's nice to have things, Alvin. It's okay.
I guess so, yeah.
He doesn't like things. He doesn't like anything.
I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying it didn't particularly strike me. It wasn't the most astounding thing. That's all I'm saying.
Anyways.
But if you want, we can go through real quickly any characters that stood out to us. Our most favorites and our least favorites.
Okay. My most favorite potatoes of the season. I'm going to do for kids and for the adults. I think I'm going to say Rich. I don't know. I just felt like he's just like a little light. And I was really sad when he was gone. Rich, he just had such an impact. And I felt like it was in such a short time, too. Because he wasn't a focus out of the group for most of the season.
Yeah.
He had, like, a couple lines, and he said a couple of encouraging words.
Yeah, it was, like, midway through the seasons.
And I was just like, oh, what a sweet kid. Yeah. And then they took him from us. And I was like... And then he helped us defeat the bitch, Pennywise. So I was just in his death. So I was like, oh, my God. And then for my one of my favorite adults, surprisingly, Dick. I could not stand him for most of the season.
You fucking bootlicker.
He was just such a problem. He was annoying, but I also felt for him, and I understood what he was going through, and I was very happy and just relieved that he basically was doing okay. Like, you know, it seemed like things were looking up for him at the end of the season, and I needed that for him somehow. Like, as stressful and annoying and just awful as he was, I feel like he was still trying, and I hated to see him go through what he was going through. So he was one of my favorite characters for the season.
And your least favorites?
Lilly, can't stand her. We already went over that. And Leroy.
I got personal beef with this man.
Yeah. I don't know. There was just something. I think it was before he hit Will.
Yeah.
No,
he was aggravating way before that.
Yeah, he just didn't sit well with me, and I want to say, like, up until the very end too. I don't like him. I don't feel like he ever gonna change. I feel like we just gotta accept him for who he is, and we can't get a divorce. So it's just like you a problem.
Yeah.
What about you?
Most favorite characters, starting with the child characters. I'm also saying Rich. I fucking love him. I think him playing the drums also just immediately just skyrocketed him as one of my favorites. Honestly, it started when I saw him when he first got introduced in the hallway with the locker, and he's eating a little empanada. I'm just like, all right, that's my man right there. That's my goat. That's my goat.
You're stupid.
That's my goat. And he, like you said, like, we didn't have much time with him, but then the little time that we did have, he developed so much. He helped other characters develop so much. His relationship with Marge felt so genuine. I really bought into, like, not just the romance, but just, like, their friendship, like, making each other better.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt so natural. And he's, like you said, he is a light in this world that I feel like he was just, like, too good for this world, I swear. Yeah, everything about him, I loved him so much, and it really stung when we lost him. And my other favorite character, who's an adult, I gotta go with my girl Charlotte.
He's obsessed with her.
I'm obsessed with this woman. I know she's been around the block. I've never seen her in movies before, but my God, when she first appeared, I'm just like, divorce, divorce, and marry us. We can do a 3-way marriage, divorce. Because I love right away that she is shown to like care about communities. She knows that that's what's
those
important.
Kids that were
when she stopped those kids from beating on that boy, and the only explanation that she could get for why they were doing this is a fucking shop owner being like, boys will be boys, which says it all right there.
Yeah.
So I love her commitment to social justice and trying to make the world around her better, with her trying to help Hank have actual like a due process legally for like the stuff that he was going through. And it infuriated me that she was with this horrible freaking man, Leroy, going into one of my least favorite characters of the adults. Yeah. I want to give it to freaking Shaw, but like he's just like such a cartoon villain. I'm just like,
not only that, I just feel like
I also just expect that from somebody like him. Honestly, I did not expect the
majority of the white people though were just bad. I think was there like a single good white person in the show who wasn't adult-wise? For the adults, no. So I'm just like, you can't even. I couldn't even pick him because obviously he's the reason target. Why. Yeah. So it's just like, you couldn't even pick him. I expected that from
him, but with Leroy, I was sorely disappointed in. I'm just like, first of all, you're in the military already right there. When you are like a soldier, I'm like, you're sus to me. You're sus because you think you're doing good for the world and shit, but you want to dunk on freaking Charlotte, your own wife, when she's actually doing some good.
He's like, you stay here, woman, and you don't.
You're always getting us into trouble. Meanwhile, you're going to Korea. And you starting wars with these people. Now there's a North and South Korea because of America, because of you in the military. What good have you been doing, sir? Like, I'm sorry.
Leroy.
Okay. He wants to really just like diminish everything that Charlotte does, and wants to blame her for the reason why they moved from like the South to the further north here. I mean, part of it is his job too, but like, sir, you contribute no good in this world. Like, you contribute to wars and colonization. Like, you don't, and then you get used by that same system, and it takes Pennywise for you to get out of it. So, like, I know that he makes some growth, but I'm just like, even to the end, he was still pissing me off. No, divorce, Charlotte, call us. We're here for you.
Hi, Charlotte.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What children do you not like?
It's hard to pick anybody from the main bunch. I don't want to pick a least favorite character from like our main cast. I just want to say like the
Mean Girls.
The Mean Girls. What was
I
they
just call them the Mean Girls.
The Barbaras, the Barbinas. I don't know. I forget the nicknames. Yeah, those girls. When they called Ricky Ricardo, I'm like, all right, you racist cunt. If Pennywise gets you, I don't care.
I was really hoping that they were going to get Ian.
Yeah, I was kind of like expecting that. And I was just
like, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that. But I was just like,
I don't care. Fuck them kids. Fuck them racist ones. I'll say she's even though she wasn't much of a character. I can't pick from like the main bunch because
What about the bunch that died first episode? There was that one kid. He was just an asshole.
Yeah, the asshole one. Yeah. I would pick him too.
If I could bring back from that group at the beginning, it'd be little Susie. What's her name? Susie? I just call her Susie. The
little ass girl that did not need to get wiped out at all.
I'm like, couldn't she have walked away with Ronnie and Lilly? Like, she didn't even know what was going on.
That's what kills me. At least every one of those characters are kind of in the know of what's going on, even if they don't fully understand it. The little ass girl is just there and like, huh? She has no idea about the weird occurrences.
Yeah.
And gets wiped out by a freaking a demon baby Pennywise.
Yeah, whatever that was.
I'm just like this.
That's like the one person I really want to bring
for
back.
This girl.
Honestly.
But what would you rate this show overall?
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a loaded potato. I want to say the most potato, but I feel like I should be saying the most potato, but I feel like I'm deducting points because I'm mad and hurt. And I
from 7 and 8, episode 7 and 8.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, no, I get that.
7 was just brutal, and I'm gonna give it the most potato. I have to.
Oh, a reversal.
To be objective here, and
a reversal. Wow. It was
good. It was a good season, good show, unexpected. I honestly wish we would have done every episode, done a review for every episode. I really do. I wish we would have gave everybody that. But it was good as much as I was hiding behind my hands and as much as I'm hurt and mad about certain characters being gone. I would say that this is the most potato, and I'm not going to be like Alvin. I am going to give them what they deserve. And yeah, that's me. What's you? Do you want to change your ways or not?
I'm digging in my heels. I'm stubborn. I don't give a fuck. This is a loaded potato. I want to give it the most potato, but that whole Daniel thing just like tipped me over.
I know.
But I get it. I should be saying the most potato, but nope. I'm going to be stubborn.
So 2 most potatoes, guys.
No,
yes.
Loaded. One most and one loaded. Most. That's still a very good average, though.
The most these potatoes.
No.
Yes. Okay, Levon.
No. So yeah, I love the show. Fantastic show. There's some minor weaknesses to the show that do not derail my enjoyment of the series. It was just 7 and 8 combined with the Daniel thing that just set me over the edge. I'm like, all right, I gotta deduct the point. You're doing too much. You're getting too comfortable now. So loaded potato, parentheses, but it's also kind of the most potato. So that is my final score. I will not take any arguments with that. It's still a really good show. That's what we're saying. So that's
punch you.
No. So that is all our thoughts on it. Welcome to Derry. Let us know all your thoughts on this show. Did you like this show? Did you not like it? What would you rate this? Scale 1 to 5 or 1 out of 10, whatever you like to do.
1 to potato.
1 to potato. And if you enjoyed us yapping about this, make sure to give this video a like. And if you really liked us, make sure to give us a subscribe and hit notification bells and share this video and channel with all of your friends. Share this all around Derry. Do not share with Pennywise, please. We don't need his business. Thank you. And with that, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.